والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Welcome back to the series Ramadan in Quarantine. Our topic today is about patience. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة. O you who believe, seek aid in Allah with two things. الصبر والصلاة, patience and prayer. And this is the only act of worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran that He brought as-sabr and salah. He brought salah is the main pillar of Islam, and He mentioned as-sabr with prayer. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to have patience, meaning worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being obedient to Him. It has to come from a person that's really patient, a soul that's patient. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions regarding the soul, إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي. And the soul inclines to doing bad things, meaning the soul, unless you take care of the soul and you teach it patience, it's going to lead to doing things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with. What do I mean by that? For example, for you to wake up for Fajr is a struggle. Why? Because the nafs and the soul, it wants you to relax. It wants you to enjoy the amusement and the laddat of this world. It wants you to play and forget the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the mu'min is the opposite. The mu'min has to strive, and they have to strive by disciplining the soul, meaning not letting the soul be the main important thing, meaning the soul has to follow the believer, and the soul, if it doesn't follow the person or the mu'min, what's going to happen? The person is going to do opposite and is going to not remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this month, as the scholars call it, is the month Shahr al-Sabr, meaning it's a month of patience. Why? Because you are fasting long hours. Long hours. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Hadith al-Qudsi, كل عمل ابن آدم له إلا الصوم فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به يدع طعامه وشرابه وشهوته من أجلي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that when it comes to fasting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that gives the reward. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned يَدَعَ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ مِنْ أَجْلِي وَشَهَوَتَهُ مِنْ أَجْلِي, that He leaves, the person that's fasting leaves the stuff that are halal for him, his food, his drink, and his sexual desires, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. So this month, it has to make the believer into a person that's patient. If you are not a patient person in this world, you will not get anywhere. And you struggle. Because you have to be patient in life. You cannot be hasty. As Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the struggles in his biography, the struggles he went through, Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu mentioned that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best man to walk this world, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam would tie rocks to his stomach because out of hunger, meaning he was so hungry that he would tie rocks and stones to his stomach, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Aisha radiallahu anha mentioned that a woman and her daughter came to her one time, and they said, they asked her for charity. They said, we want sadaqah, we're poor. And Aisha radiallahu anha did not have nothing except dates, meaning this is the wife of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she could not give charity because she was so poor. Meaning Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived in months in a house where no food was not cooked. They used to live on dates and water, and this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was still patient. He was still patient, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 6 of his children died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was harmed, meaning the hypocrites and the people that were against him, they used to plot and plan to kill him. He was kicked out of his area or his town, Mecca. He was born in, and he was kicked out by who? His own people. How hard must that be? Your own people do not believe in you. Your own people make fun of you. Your own people, because you call to the haqq and you call to the truth, they kick you out and they call you names. And he sallallahu alaihi wasallam had black magic done to him. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam went through struggle in this life, and he was still optimist. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, يعجبني الفأل, meaning I love someone that's optimist, or someone that's optimistic. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam still was optimistic. So brothers and sisters, this is the month to discipline your soul, and this is the month to fight your desires, as this is the month of Shahr, as they call it, Shahr al-Sabr, the month of patience. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those that are patient. And inshallah, I'm going to finish off with this statement from Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He said, "Man la sabra lah, la iman lah." Whoever does not have patience hasn't got full iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, for you to have full faith, you have to be patient. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those that are patient. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad. See you next episode.